A group of people are inside the van, and they are tracking aliens that broke loose from their laboratory. There is a spotter named Spooky, who has the ability to sense the aliens, and he is positive that he is detecting the presence of the alien king, the very first one of its kind. After some time, they stop at one grocery store, and the scene shifts to Benny, one of the store's workers. He collects the shopping carts and then goes back inside. Meanwhile, a cashier named Whitney is having a conversation with her stepdad, Seth, who is a hostage negotiator. He buys some items for his newborn child and then leaves. Tarky is the store manager, and he tells Benny to stay for the next shift, because another staff member had called in sick. He then orders Benny to go help Manny in the back, who is the butcher. Tarky is a bad manager who bosses his workers around, and secretly steals money from the store. As Benny goes to see Manny, he sees one of his co-workers shot dead on the floor. He also sees Manny being held hostage, and then a girl appears from behind and points a gun at his head. The same group of people from the van is now raiding the grocery store, and they are recording everything they do. They are using silencers on the guns, so there was no gunshot noise. They start to gather around people, and Spooky, the spotter, starts to check them. He can spot the alien living inside the person's body by looking into their eyes. Aaron is the leader of the group, and he announces that the attack is a robbery. He also says that both the front and back doors are chained, and warns everyone not to use their phones. As Spooky continues his checks, they kill those people who are infected. Whitney is somehow managing to hide, and she is horrified to see what is happening. At one aisle, Kane brings one woman to get checked. She freaks out when Spooky looks into her eyes, so she starts to run away. Spooky points out that the woman is infected, so Aaron quickly pulls out his gun and shoots her. In another aisle, Ulrich holds a person hostage while waiting for Spooky to come and check him. He radios his accomplices to quickly bring Spooky, but the person he is holding hostage is a police officer named Chambers. As Ulrich looks away, Chambers pulls out his gun and shoots him. Aaron hears the gunshot, and radios Ulrich but gets no response. Meanwhile, Chambers has already called emergency services for backup. Knowing something has gone wrong with Ulrich, Aaron orders his teammates to remain alert. Chambers slowly moves forward and sees the suspects, and now a firefight erupts between them. Chambers is outnumbered, so he falls back, and Aaron and Kane start to search for him. Aaron finds Ulrich lying on the floor and checks him, but Ulrich is already dead. At that same moment, Chambers ends up in the same aisle as Spooky, and as soon as he sees Spooky, he immediately shoots him. Aaron and Kane hear the gunshot, so Aaron rushes to the aisle where Spooky was. Now, Aaron and Chambers are face to face. Chambers says that he is a cop, and orders Aaron to drop his gun while slowly backing away. As Chambers reaches the end of the aisle, Kane, from another aisle sees him, and shoots him with a shotgun, instantly killing him. Then Logan, who is recording everything, finds Whitney, and orders her to join the other hostages. Kane finds out that Chambers is a cop, and he has already called in for help. Spooky is also dead, so now there is no one to check the remaining people. More police are on the way, but the group is determined to find and eliminate their target by any means necessary, so they separate the people that Spooky had already checked, and gather them near the front door. Then they take unchecked people to the storeroom, and the police arrive outside the store. Aaron then uses toilet paper and Spooky's blood to write on the glass door. He writes, "Stay back," so that the police can see his message, and he lets the uninfected people leave the store, keeping the police occupied while they get information from them. Kane instructs the hostages to collect all the dead bodies and take them to the freezer room. While covering Officer Chambers' dead body, Whitney notices a hidden gun strapped to his ankle. Sherry is a medic, so she examines some infected bodies, and as they close the freezer room, Officer Chambers' body starts to revive. Now, 6 people need to be checked: Benny, Whitney, Manny, Tarky, and 2 customers. They take them to the storeroom, and tie their hands with duct tape. Since Spooky is dead, Aaron decides to bring in another spotter named Charlotte, but her arrival will take time. Wanting to find the king as soon as possible, they agree to perform a physical test in the meantime. Logan, Aaron, and Sherry start to collect the necessary items for the test, and Kane makes all the hostages drink milk, which will alter their pH, and cause a reaction in an infected person's body. Kane then leaves the storeroom, and Whitney tells the others about the gun that she saw on Officer Chambers' ankle. Meanwhile, outside the store, Seth arrives and receives a briefing from Officer Mooney. Seth is a bit worried, because his stepdaughter Whitney is still inside the store. After some time, they find the van that Aaron's group is using, where they see a pile of camera tapes. Mooney tells Seth that the van is registered under the name of Aaron, who used to work at Jet Propulsion Laboratories. Seth then asks Mooney to arrange a phone call so that he can negotiate with Aaron. Back in the store, Aaron informs the hostages that they could have been infected with a dangerous substance, and since their spotter is dead, they are gonna perform a backup method to find out the infected person. Now, they take Tarky to the office room to test him. Logan is recording everything, and Aaron gives Tarky a box lid and tells him to write his name on it. Aaron then tries to distract Tarky by asking some questions, and Sherry slowly grabs his pinky finger and tries to cut it. Tarky notices this, and he freaks out, and he tries to offer them money that he had stolen from the store to let him go. In the storeroom, everyone hears Tarky screaming, so Kane goes to see what is happening in the test room. The male customer says that he will go to the freezer room to get the gun, because he knows how to use it, and Manny had already cut the duct tape from his hand with the box cutter. They then make a plan to fight against the gang, and Manny passes the box cutter to the male customer. In the test room, the office's phone starts to ring, and it is Seth who is calling, and he wants to negotiate with Aaron. Aaron demands Seth bring Charlotte, and gives him her address. He also gives Seth his personal number, so that he can directly call him. After the call, they continue the test. Tarky is not letting them cut his finger, so Logan holds him, and Sherry cuts his pinky finger. Tarky screams out in pain, and everyone in the storeroom hears it, causing all 5 of them to panic. After waiting for a while, Tarky's body doesn't show any changes, so Sherry confirms that he is not infected. Logan puts Tarky's pinky finger in a box filled with ice, and gives it to him so that it can be reattached later. Outside the store, Seth is watching the videotape that they have found inside Aaron's van. The video reveals that an alien was found on a meteor, and it prefers heat to survive. Because of this, it lives inside a human body as a parasite, and freezing is the only sure way to kill it. Seth is having a hard time believing the alien stuff, and Mooney gives some information about Charlotte and Aaron's gang members. Charlotte is a drug addict, and Aaron always helps her to get out of jail. Aaron and all of his gang members used to work at the same laboratory. Aaron quit his job shortly after he was proven not guilty of involuntary manslaughter. Then one day, all of a sudden, the rest of his gang members also quit their jobs, and they started to acquire some firearms. Furthermore, the remaining lab workers who used to work with them are all dead. Back in the storeroom, the male customer had already cut the duct tape, and Sherry and Logan bring Tarky back in the storeroom. Tarky tells the others that his finger was cut, terrifying the remaining hostages. Kane then tells Whitney that she is gonna be next for the test. Scared, Whitney says that her stepdad is a cop, and at that same time, Aaron comes inside the storeroom, and now he knows that Seth is her stepfather. Aaron then tells his gang members to quickly bring any hostage for the test. Benny volunteers to take Whitney's place, so now he is taken to the test room. Outside, Seth and his team continue watching the videos, and they see that Aaron and his gang members are hunting something, possibly an alien. Back inside the store, they have already tested Benny, and he is clear, and then they have already taken the female customer to test her. She screams in pain as her finger is cut, and Sherry tries to comfort her. But after some time, her pinky finger regenerates, confirming she is infected. Suddenly, the surroundings shake as if an earthquake is striking, and she screams so loudly that the sound is unbearable even for the cops outside. She begins to act violently, and her neck also starts to swell. Sherry, Aaron, and Logan try to control her, but she single-handedly tosses them around with ease. Then Sherry and Logan somehow manage to hold her, and Aaron grabs the knife, and stabs her in the neck from behind. Kane immediately goes to check on his teammates, leaving the hostages alone. This gives the male customer a chance to go to the freezer room to get the gun. Benny then takes the box cutter, and starts cutting the duct tape from his hand. The male customer manages to get inside the freezer room, and he retrieves the gun from Officer Chambers' dead body. But as he is leaving the room, Chambers' body comes back to life and kills him. Hearing the male customer scream, Logan and Kane return to the storeroom, discovering one hostage is missing. The remaining hostages refuse to speak, so Kane grabs Whitney, threatening to kill her. Benny then reveals that the male customer went to the freezer room. Kane radios Aaron, telling him to come to the storeroom and watch the hostages, then he and Logan go to the freezer room to search for the missing hostage. In the freezer room, they find the male customer on the floor covered in blood, and then suddenly, the male customer grabs Logan's leg, so Kane immediately shoots and kills him. They then hear a groaning noise, and suddenly, the infected Chambers appears right in front of them. Kane and Logan shoot at him, but the bullets have no effect, and Chambers charges directly at them. Back in the storeroom, everyone hears the gunshot, so Aaron tries to radio Kane but gets no response, so he tells Sherry to watch the hostages and goes to the freezer room. Aaron sees that Kane is badly injured, and he finds out that Logan is dead. Kane tells Aaron that the dead police officer might be the king, because he is the most powerful one he has ever seen, and also his dead body came back to life. Kane knows that the alien has infected him, so he asks Aaron to kill him. With no other option, Aaron shoots and kills Kane. Aaron then comes back to the storeroom and tells everything to Sherry. He then asks Sherry to keep an eye on the hostages, and he goes back to hunt the king. Meanwhile, outside the store, Charlotte arrives, and Seth tries to question her. But Charlotte demands some drugs to answer his questions, so Seth gives her one of the police officer's painkillers. Charlotte then explains that Aaron and his team are hunting aliens. She adds that she is a spotter, and she can see the alien living inside a human body because she is also infected. Taking drugs is the only way to keep the alien from taking over the body, which is why both she and Spooky became crackheads. Back in the store, Aaron is searching for the king, and he finds Logan's dead body. Aaron shoots him to ensure he is dead, because he might have also been infected, and slowly, the king emerges from behind the display counter. Sherry is all alone watching over the hostages, and now, Whitney has also cut the duct tape off her hand. Benny then pretends to run away to distract Sherry, and seizing the moment, Manny tackles her down. He then bites her fingers and snatches the gun. As Manny shows off with the gun, Aaron suddenly comes running inside the storeroom with the king right behind him. The king then grabs Manny and throws him out of the storeroom. Aaron then keeps shooting at the king, so it is forced to run away from there. Benny then grabs the gun that Manny had dropped, and points it at Sherry. Aaron tries to convince Benny, and Sherry shows her pinky finger, hinting that they have also performed the same test on their own body. Whitney and Tarky keep telling Benny that they should immediately leave, but after seeing the officer Chambers' animal-like behavior, Benny believes Aaron, and puts down his gun. Hearing the gunshots, Seth calls Aaron, and tells him that Charlotte has arrived. Aaron then asks Seth to bring Charlotte inside the store in exchange for one hostage. Seth demands Whitney in exchange, but Aaron refuses, because he knows that she is the only reason Seth hasn't stormed inside the store. Aaron then asks Seth to give the phone to Charlotte. He then asks Charlotte to check Seth, and she confirms that Seth is not infected. Now both teams start to prepare for a hostage exchange. They try to use the back door, but it is blocked from the other side. They then decide to use the warehouse door, and there they find Manny's dead body. Aaron shoots Manny's dead body to confirm he's dead, and he sees that the warehouse door is chained and locked. Now the only option is the front door, where the king is still roaming around. Seth is agreeing to every demand of Aaron, so Officer Mooney now believes that he is doing this because of his stepdaughter. Seth then takes Charlotte with him, and back in the store, Aaron, Sherry, and the hostages slowly move towards the front door. Suddenly, they hear the alien king screaming, and in a panic, they hide behind the shelves, but Tarky drops his box in the process. Tarky wants his pinky finger, so he goes to retrieve the box, but he gets attacked by the king. Aaron then tells Sherry to take the hostages to the manager's office for their safety, while he goes alone to the front door. Sherry takes Benny and Whitney to the manager's office, and immediately leaves to join Aaron. Aaron opens the front door, and Seth and Charlotte come inside the store. Seth demands the hostage, but Aaron tells him that the hostage who was supposed to be exchanged is dead. Aaron then says that his stepdaughter is still alive, and he needs his help to deal with the alien king. Knowing that Whitney is alright, Seth decides to help him. Suddenly, Sherry comes running around because the king is chasing her. They take cover behind the shelves and start shooting at the king. The king gets overwhelmed by the gunshot, so it runs away. Charlotte can feel that it can be the king, because it is too powerful, and she also senses that it is looking for something. Aaron thinks that it might be searching for Whitney and Benny, so he tells Seth that they will create a distraction to allow him to go get them. He also asks Seth to give him 10 minutes to deal with the alien king. Seth agrees, and then Charlotte stands in the middle of the store to call the king. Seth goes to the manager's office and finds Whitney and Benny. He quickly takes them to the front door to free them, but the group of cops rushes inside without his permission. Moody has had enough of Seth's slow working process, so he took the lead, and ordered them to go inside the store. Seth is a bit pissed, and he orders one officer to put Whitney and Benny inside a police car. Then the whole area starts to shake, along with the alien king's scream. Seth orders the remaining cops to guard the front door, and he goes back inside the store. The group of cops who went inside confront Aaron and Sherry, so they put down their gun, and suddenly, the king lunges towards Aaron. Again, the entire place starts shaking, and the king starts tossing Aaron around. The king then repeatedly beats Aaron in the back, so Seth fires his gun into the air to distract it. The king turns back, and the cops are totally shocked to see that it has the appearance of Officer Chambers. The king then starts to scream at them, and seizing his chance, Aaron quickly pulls out his knife, and stabs its neck from behind. He then slits its throat open, and takes out the king from the Chambers' body. Aaron holds the king, but it is too powerful, so Aaron yells at Seth to shoot it. So Seth and the other police officers immediately fire, and Aaron is also shot in the process. The king is dead, but it has already infected Aaron, so he asks Sherry to end his life. Since Aaron was infected by the king, Sherry realizes that she must do it. So she pulls out her gun and shoots him, completing their mission. Seth then takes Sherry to one aisle to question her, but Sherry says that there are still female aliens roaming around the town. With the king dead, the female aliens can no longer reproduce, but they must still be found and killed. Seth assures Charlotte that he will do whatever he can, if her statement gets verified. Mooney then radios Seth, telling him that Charlotte isn't letting them get near the alien. Sherry says that Charlotte is verifying, so Seth tells Mooney to let Charlotte do her thing. After observing for some time, Charlotte is terrified. She immediately snatches Mooney's radio, and says that the alien they just killed was not the king. Sherry realizes the real king might be one of the hostages who got out of the store. Hearing this, Seth thinks that Benny is the king, so he immediately radios Whitney, telling her to get out of the car. Whitney and Benny are listening to everything through the car's radio, but Benny was already tested, and he was cleared. So Whitney was the king all along. Benny is terrified and pulls out the gun, but it's too late. In the background, the sounds of the king attacking Benny are heard, and the movie ends. So this was the movie Alien Raiders. It is a sci-fi horror movie that was released in 2008. In short, the alien king gets loose from the laboratory, so Aaron and his team decide to hunt it down to stop the invasion. Comment down your thoughts below, and remember to subscribe to the channel for more movie breaks.